gonna fuck up your name again. Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Welcome back to the Option Select podcast. This is a little show that me and my good friend Ruben here,
Kevin,
we do. Get with the mix-up.
Yeah, we're gonna hit you with the mix-up, bro.
Oh, I ain't ready for that one. This is a show where me and my good friend Ruben, we do our little podcast on Friday nights, and we are excited that you guys are here spending time with us. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with us on a Friday night.
That's
we really
right.
Appreciate it. We just enjoy finding news, the choicest of news bits, and bring it to y'all's, to y'all's screen, and letting us know and sharing it with you guys. Again, guys, this week it's kind of light.
It's a little light.
A little light.
Announcements
for announcements and stuff that's coming out. So
Yeah.
we kind of might just delve into what we've been doing and plans what we got, and surviving another hurricane. Delta.
Was it?
I mean the
tropical storm.
The coast, yeah, the Louisiana Texas coast. They state line. They got hit by it again because 6 weeks ago it was Laura.
Right.
Yeah, and here it is again. And now it's Delta. We ran out of names, so now we're just calling it.
We're just calling
Delta.
it Alpha.
Yeah, now it's just numbers. Delta. What was I gonna say? So quick aside, guys, before we get into it. Friday night, I looked at our account of listens. We had like 60 something listens on a Friday night.
Last week or this week?
Friday night after we did our show.
Oh yeah.
I went to SoundCloud. Like, you had 70 something listens. I'm like, what the fuck?
Just that one night.
Yeah, I was like,
It was definitely our record high. We had like 200 and something, I think.
Because usually, like I'll see like 6 or 7 like after hardcore listeners, which I appreciate. Listen, but I was like, what the hell? I mean, those Russian bots. Those Russian bots. I would have finally showed up.
We ordered them and they finally came through.
All those freaking
like those Pokemon Go farms.
Yeah, all those Facebook boosts. They finally they finally worked.
All that advertising money we spent, right?
Yeah, it's in budget, guys, and we have to use it before the fiscal year's up,
or else we don't get it back next year.
We don't get it
from all those sponsors we have, right?
Yeah, us and our wallet.
Speaking of which, guys, this episode is brought to you by OS Rick and OS Onslaught again for the 74th time.
Every week, right here with us. So yeah, we guys, we just talk about game news and what's going on and stuff that we do and what we watch, and we start off every episode with how was your week, Ruben?
Oh man, week was pretty damn good at work. Once again, I made some incredible sales this week. I sold a new account. I got a couple of renewals. I sold some products, some direct sales, that type of thing. And making a little bit.
Your hair looks fabulous, by the way.
Oh no, there's no oil.
I know, that's why it looks better.
Watch out.
You didn't smell like pop.
I'll tell you about that here in a second. But I gotta get it trimmed up a little bit, just so the split ends and stuff can come out. They gotta cut the little split ends.
Remember a year ago, you're like, I'm going for a haircut.
No. But I'm going to my real barber.
I'm going for a haircut.
Shouts out to Javi at York Street Barbers, the owner and proprietor of that establishment. But yeah, I need to go get it trimmed up. But yeah, so work went really, really well, man. It was a phenomenal work week.
And the weather was gorgeous for today. But yeah,
I mean, today was like
today was just wet,
a little wet, and then that was about
wet and windy. That's it.
Yeah, it felt.
But the rest
great.
of the week was like high in the mid 80s.
Yeah, this is my ideal weather to work in. Dude. It's perfect. I'm not frustrated. I'm not upset at being outside.
Not hot, you're not sweating and shit. And I told myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna take a day off. Like, nah, this is the good time.
This is a good time, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, nah, don't burn my days.
So I made some great sales. I got my job doesn't include like selling new accounts or anything like that, but I sold a few. And actually today after work, I went out and I went to because remember I told you last week I had to cover somebody else's route or whatever?
Yeah, the kids route.
Right. And I ran into, when I was at one of the stops, I ran into this guy who I used to work with back on my route. And I was like, oh, man, like I haven't seen you in forever. Like I love this dude. He's on my Facebook. He's a good guy. Shouts out to Andy. And he was like, man, we're having a little bit of issues here, this and that. And I was like, I promise I'll fix it, whatever. So I had a meeting with him today, got them re-signed. Got them, gonna get them some new meat coats because it's kind of like a butcher shop type thing.
Okay.
And it turns out that they're actually moving to my route anyway. Ooh. Like, so they're moving from 290 and West Road, far, all the way to the Heights and the new like the produce market or whatever. So I'm kind of excited to pick him up and see him again on a weekly basis. Nice. The guy's a good guy, real chill, and he's also getting married. So congratulations. And
don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do it. But for this week in gaming, well, let me get into entertainment and stuff. So Alice was watching The Office, so of course I watched a little bit of Office here and there. I've been watching the Mythic Quest on Apple TV on the iPad.
That's the one with Rob Okenheiny.
Yeah.
McElhenney.
Yeah.
Yeah, who plays Mac.
He's like super swole, dude. I didn't realize how cut up he is, dude.
So I know Miles. Hey Miles, how are you? I miss you. I know Miles. He told me he saw a bit with Rob McElhenney. He talks about how being in shape, like how easy it is. But he's been doing like a very satire version of it. He's like, yeah, as long as you have a team of nutritionists,
personal
trainer, family and kids, forget about them.
Yeah.
Someone to tell you what to eat, and not a job. So you could work out 8 hours a day. Then yeah, you could reach this.
You could look like this.
You could look like this.
You could look like.
Okay, that's all I had to do.
That's all I had to do.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, he's in it, and actually the voice of Aloy, I forget her name. I'd have to look her up, but she's also like a voice in a lot of other games that I didn't realize that she was a voice in. But yeah, she's in the game. I mean, she's in the show as a game tester.
Mythic Quest.
And it's like Raven something.
Yeah, I remember first hearing about that show at E3 last year because he came out. Rob McElhenney. He came out to just talk about I think it was Bethesda. Yeah, I think it was Bethesda's presentation or one of those presentations.
It was
he
like
came
Ubisoft
out,
because
or maybe
Ubisoft,
it was Ubisoft. Yeah, it was Ubisoft. Sorry. Yeah, he came out and he talked about it and.
Yeah, Ubisoft has a lot of little cutscenes in the game, and basically like all their junior like animators and programmers and stuff like that are actually working on the show as like a way to help them out, like increase their stuff, which is
cool.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So I watched a little bit of that. We watched what else did we watch this week, man? I can't even remember.
So you have Apple TV?
Yeah, it's free for a year whenever I bought my iPad. So
did you watch that show with Joe McKinnon when they're like it's like an Apollo? They're like I think they're taking care of the moon landing.
No, I haven't seen that one. The only other thing I've seen besides Mythic Quest on Apple TV so far, because I want to like invest some more time into it, because they actually have really good quality shows and movies. The other thing that I saw was a movie with Tom Hanks called Greyhound, where he's like a battleship commander in World War II.
Yeah.
And he's trying to transport ships from one end of the coast to the other side of the world.
Well, there's trying to avoid the German U-boats and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like based on a true story and stuff, and it's actually really solid movie.
Well, Tom Hanks is top tier.
Yeah, definitely top tier. He's up there with Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's just a great actor. So he did a really good job in that movie. And so far, Mythic Quest is really good. It's funny, it's satirical. There's some video game humor in there, and they have the guy. I forget. He's in Community as well. He's like the Indian guy, I guess, is what I would go with on that. I can't remember his name. Pakistani or Indian, one of the two. No disrespect to whatever he is. But yeah, he's in the show, and he's like the numbers guy. And like all he cares about is the bottom line. Like, how much money are we making on this expansion?
What's the budget?
How much money are we making on our MTXs? How much money are we making on this? Like, so he's just like all over him. He's like, so how can we get money out of this? And I think in like one episode, they kind of like they kick him out for a little while, and like he like makes everything free, and like everybody starts going ape shit. It's pretty freaking great. And then Charlie Day's in it in one episode.
Really?
I haven't finished the whole season yet. But Charlie Day's in it, and it's like a story from like the mid '90s. It's like a sub story in this other story, but it's like mid '90s. And Charlie Day meets the mom from How I Met Your Mother. If you never watched that, but she was like in a bunch of other stuff too. She's like Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. But she's in it for that one episode, and then like they create a video game company, and it shows them how they start from the ground up, and like how a corporation will change the way that you make your game. Like they wanted to have a certain vision for it, and then
we like your game, but maybe you should add a little bit of this in here.
Exactly,
because they're funding everything. Yeah,
and I love that aspect of it. I mean, it was sad, like it was a sad story, and it was only like 45 minutes, but like it hit you. You know what I mean? Like if you've ever felt like that towards somebody, or just something that you make or anything like that. So I really enjoyed the shit out of that.
I can't wait till Spotify picks us up and starts like, hey, you know what, guys? I like y'all's podcast, but you think y'all could,
turn down the gay talk?
Sure, yeah.
What? We're not gay.
No, not at all, yeah. You think you guys could be funnier? Like,
so we could try. yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
boss.
$100 million.
Yeah,
whatever.
boss. We can get like a nice red dome.
Tube.
Studio.
Half tube.
Yeah.
And then I saw... Okay, so I kind of fucked up. And like somebody had posted a list on Reddit of like mindfuck movies. and I enjoy a good mindfuck movie. But the problem with the list of mindfuck movies is you're letting everybody know that there's a mindfuck in it just to begin with.
You gotta, if you're looking into it, you kind of have to prepare yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there were some anime ones, and there was only like 3 or 4 anime ones, like mindfuck movies, and they said like the end of Evangelion. So I watched it, not knowing that it was the actual end of the series, like the original series. So now I kind of want to go back.
Congratulations.
Yeah, now I kind of want to go back and like rewatch, or like not rewatch, but actually watch Evangelion.
You're okay.
But the show, I mean, the movie was pretty good, but it was like 2 episodes, and I was like, how is this a movie?
Wait, you watched the movie ending?
Yeah, the movie called The End of Evangelion, which is basically the end of, I guess, like the show got canceled, and what they did was they made 2 episodes just for the end.
So weird. It's so weird because a lot of the hardcore fans will be like, well, we don't like how the series ended because the series, like, it was like 20-something episodes, 16. I forgot.
It was 24 episodes.
24 episodes. So up to episode 16, you start noticing, hey, the direction of how it's being shot and done changes because they lost budget.
Right.
And the writer was also like kind of losing his marbles.
Oh, shit.
So you start noticing after episode 16, the series goes in a very different direction. So by the end of that, it literally they're using still shots and just voiceovers to tell you how it ends.
No.
And it just becomes I'm not gonna spoil it, but it just you look at it and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So of course, the fans, we don't like this ending. They get upset, so they start making, the studio starts making other movies, but then like they're not happy with that, or it's too much, and because it does this, and then they make another movie that's another different. And now I recently, like a couple of months ago, now they're making another movie for the ending of Evangelion. I'm like, and everybody's excited for it because it's if you like mech animes,
right,
it's right up there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay not to like it, I mean, for what it was in its time in the 90s, great. Yeah. But like if you go back and take a retrospect, and okay.
I like the art style of it a lot in the movie. I was like, man, this art style is really dope. It's super bloody, like,
oh yeah,
real fast paced whenever the action's going. But like I felt like halfway through the first episode of the ending, I was just kind of like, man, when's the fun stuff gonna get here? And then the fun stuff happened. I was like, oh, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But I watched that not knowing what it was. I just trying to,
it's on Netflix, by the way, so you go catch the series there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I caught the movie. The movie is also on Netflix, so that's where I caught that. And then I also started watching 7 Deadly Sins, like I told you I was gonna start. I'm like 10 episodes in on that, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Really well done. Fun. A little pervy, because like anime.
I love it.
A little pervy, but like overly like over the top, like groping women while they're unconscious, pervy. And I'm just like, okay, this was made in 2018. Why is it so pervy?
I think it's allowed. I think that's part of the anime culture. It's
the
just
culture.
Like,
they're not real. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not real. It's just, I mean, you see waifu body pillows at anime matsuri, I mean, so it's like,
or the sweatshirts.
Oh, the sweatshirts with the what's it called? A Higo sweatshirts with the girls with sweaty faces.
Yeah, the sweaty faces. Right, that's what it is. Sweaty faces.
And that's the only place you're gonna see them at. You're gonna see them only at anime cons.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, you're like, get the fuck out. What are you doing?
What's wrong with you?
You're a grown ass man wearing that.
So I did start watching that, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I want to dive deeper into it. So
I need
an
anime to watch too.
I'm
almost done with JoJo's.
It's pretty solid. I would definitely recommend it so far. I just like the whole lore aspect of it that they've got going on. You think that it's something, like first episode, you think that, you're going into something like they're chasing down the 7 deadly sins, but it turns out to be like this whole other
different thing.
Like they are chasing down the 7 deadly sins, but not the way that you thought.
Another one you might like, I know Ian told me about it. He's a big fan. It's called the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
The second one, not the first one.
Yeah, there's Full Metal Alchemist, and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Right.
I think there's like I think they're like parallel, and then they start branching out and do their own thing. But
one follows the manga.
I think Brotherhood, yeah, is a little bit. I think is the more popular one. Right. I'm not too sure. And I remember seeing a couple episodes, and I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And I felt just watching this like, they could make a JRPG out of this, just the way it is, because it's 2 brothers, and then they're going on a journey, and they meet some friends, and they fight bad guys, and they're going to different towns, and it felt like it could be an RPG, Yeah. So I mean, that aspect, I think you might want to give that one a shot.
That's on my list. Yeah, for sure.
Backlog on anime too.
And then for this week in video games, I did a little bit of Call of Duty. Pretty much every day, I'm trying to knock out 2 levels. I didn't play yesterday. No, I did play yesterday. I didn't play Wednesday. Like me and Alice were just kind of hanging out, watching some shows
days,
and stuff. So I kind of skipped on Wednesday, and then I did a level or so. But it was just.
How far are you on the battle pass or on the levels?
I'm like level 20 or something, but it's kind of 100.
Oh,
but it's just kind of pissing me off at this point. Like it's not as fun when you're not playing with friends, and then like. I've got so much other stuff that I could be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Your backlog is still like, hey,
my backlog is still
hey,
there poking me.
hey.
But like, why am I wasting my time? I don't feel like it's wasting time, but it's like super duper frustrating because like I hate popping in somewhere or spawning somewhere and then like I'm automatically killed because somebody's watching spawn.
Duh.
And I'm like, oh, this is so dumb.
You
like,
see the kill cam
dumb.
and they're literally just
they're just sitting there looking at the spot where you're gonna spawn. I'm just like, come on, man, what the fuck is this? This game's been out for a year already.
So I think sometimes like that in situations like that, you gotta have to just take a step back. And then come back, but you don't want to take a step too far back because if it's anything like me, if I step away too far from something, it's either hard for me to get back into or I start like rusting out, like Street Fighter.
Right.
You know, and especially like a game like Modern Warfare where you kind of have to be, you know, twitchy and jumpy and ready to react. You don't want to be, you know, away from it and be like, oh yeah, you know, lay out the maps or how the gun responds or just, you know, having your reactions, you know, getting dulled from playing other games.
I'm just I don't know if I'm worn out on it again or like what's going on, but like I remember I told you last week I wanted to redo like Divinity, I want to finish Witcher 3, I want to finish Gears, I want to do all these other things that
all
like
big games.
Like that I would rather like Witcher 3 is not Witcher 3. Gears 5 isn't like a big game. Like I'm almost done with that one. I'm like 65-70% done with
Easy.
it. So I think I'm going to focus on that one a little bit more, and I think I'm going to back away from Call of Duty for a little while. And just play whenever like I feel like playing, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like forcing it out. Like I'm basically like I feel like I come home from work and then I'm working. You know what I mean? Like I'm punching in. Oh, I gotta do 2 levels of Call of Duty to get my fucking quota, and it's
don't
like
do that.
I'm like I don't even want to do this now.
Yeah, you don't want the hobby to turn into a job.
Yeah, so that's where I'm kind of at with Call of Duty right now, and I appreciate the new update and everything that the devs have done. With the game, I think that it is a phenomenal game, and I know that Call of Duty Cold War beta had come out or whatever, but I'm still not sold on that one. I know we've talked about it. I hate to be like a broken record or whatever, skipping record. It's just I'm not feeling it right now.
No, it's all good.
And I've got Cyberpunk coming out soon. I've got Baldur's Gate now. That's the next thing I want to talk about was Baldur's Gate. Copeland. Shouts out to Mr. Copeland. He actually bought me a copy of this game.
Very kind of him.
Very kind of him. It was. He was
Did you owe him money or something?
No. It was just kind of like he goes, "Hey, are you getting Baldur's Gate?" And I was like, "I would love to, man. Like, I honestly would love to. It's an early access, but you know."
Did you get a message from Steam? Baldur's Gate's now in your inventory.
Pretty much. Like that's pretty much how it went. It was like, look, man, and I showed him my bank account, like which is something I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging at all. I was like, look, man, my house note just came out. I've got less than $1,000 left right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is I don't have the time or like, you know, I don't have the money or whatever. I'm trying to get back to where I was, but it's just not there. And like that wasn't like hey, buy me a game or anything like that. I was just being honest with him. I was like, I would love to play it. You know, I love D&D. You know, I love
especially now that it's kind of hard to get together and play.
Right. I love these type of games. I love Divinity. I love Lariat Studios and all that stuff. So Larian, excuse me.
Larian, yeah.
And I was just like, look, I just don't think I can afford it right now. And also, it's an early access. It's a full price game. Like I can wait a little while. Like I'll be fine. Like you guys can get the hang of it and all that stuff. And I ended up he gifted it to me this morning. He's like, hey, it's in your inventory. And sure enough, I got home and I booted up Steam. It's like, boom, it's in your inventory. So I was like, oh man, thanks.
How big is the game?
80 gigs. 80 gigs, and it's still in early access. 80 gigs, but you have to account for all the map, all the textures, all the different characters, all the different languages, all the different
voice acting. Yeah, because it's all voice, right?
It's something like 35,000 spoken lines, and it's still in early access.
Yeah,
something crazy like that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that Divinity 2 had a lot of lines. And then
15,000. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is even gonna be bigger than that.
Yeah, three times that.
So yeah, so I mean.
But I'm enjoying the shit out of it. Me and Copeland played for about 3 hours today together. I created a character. I actually pulled out my character sheet. And I recreated that character minus its race because the race that I was on, that I was a gnome. They don't have gnome in the game yet,
Okay.
so I created a halfling, which is pretty much the same thing, right? So
all the D&D nerds are triggered.
So I created a halfling, and I like did the stats and all the skills and everything, and he created a dwarf, and he actually made it look like himself, which was hilarious. Because every time he was in a cutscene, I was just laughing. I was like, dude, that looks just like you, but short and fat, which is hilarious. You're not tall. You're just like a little person. It's cool. And but like we played for about 2 or 3 hours. We got through the first like little starting area, which you're nothing crazy, but it's a starting area.
Yeah.
And it's like basically figuring things out, and like it's also like learning skill checks and things like that, and learning movement and stealth,
learning your character, and
learning your class, and I'm loving it, dude. They actually give you a movement bar, which is equal to D&D feet or meters, whichever one you want to use. So if you're a human, you get 30 feet of movement, and that bar shrinks as you move it, and then you have your action, which it can be attack or jump or whatever. And then you've got your bonus actions, which is, like if you're a rogue, disengage or dash or, whatever
roll
it is.
Or whatever, yeah.
Exactly. And I like the way that they are I like the way Larian is doing the things with Baldur's Gate. Because to me, like, I love Divinity, but I think that Divinity, like, doesn't shine as well as I know that this one is going to shine. Like, I know that this one's going to be a great game. Like, right now, it was a little buggy. It's an early access.
It's early access, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little buggy.
So don't get fucking butthurt.
Yeah,
it's not the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
I hate when people start bitching about it. Like,
It's not a complete game.
Like, dude, it's literally early fucking access or beta. I hate when people start getting...
Yeah. I mean, I get a little pissy about Call of Duty beta because it looks like dog shit to me. I mean, you could just tell. Like, it's coming out in a month. This one's got a whole nother year of development cycle. So I can understand the hate on Call of Duty, the hate on Baldur's Gate. I've been seeing a lot of clickbaity reviews like, oh, it's just another Divinity, but with a D&D 5e. And it is, basically pretty much the same type of game, which is fine. That's what Divinity was based on. It was based on D&D. And now that they're actually in charge of
bigger budget
and a bigger
franchise,
bigger budget, bigger franchise, all the stuff that they're gonna do with this game, I'm so excited to see what they do. What are you gonna say?
Going back when you were talking about creating a character, I can't wait till they start implementing, like, hey, take a quick picture of her face on the camera, and then kind of like map it out. Like I don't know. I figured the technology should be there now.
It's there.
I figured, like, cause how a lot of games have created
NBA
character.
games have that.
Do they?
Yeah, NBA games have that where you take a picture of your face and
they put it on there.
Yeah.
Okay. I never.
Tony Hawk did it, I think, at one point. That's tech's
been
around for forever.
I would like to see it more because like when I was playing Larian, when I was playing a Divinity 2 on my PC, like create character, I'm like, sensible shoes. Nice smile. Like, wait, that still doesn't look like me.
And like, I didn't make my character look like me, but if I brought up the picture of what Copeland looked like, you would die laughing. You would die laughing because it's for sure him, dude.
That's funny.
Like, here he is right here.
Wow.
It's for sure him.
That's on it,
but
dude.
Like, there's no sliders or anything. Those are just generic templates, and it looks just like him. That's Copeland, but dwarf with the hairy hand. Oh wait, that is Copeland. But like, I'm enjoying it so far. And then like every class that you pick, your character will interact with other characters. Like with like sometimes it'll be like it'll tell you like a fighter. If you're a fighter, the fighter would say this. But you don't have to choose it. You can choose any of these other things.
Very similar to Divinity.
If you're perceptive, you can use this or whatever it is. So very similar to that in that aspect. Inventory is very, I guess, not strict because like Copeland was over encumbered for like half the time we were playing, and like I don't think it slowed him down at all.
Really?
Didn't look like it. The art is really good. The graphics are really good. The character creation was really good so far.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the way that you picked up your side characters along the way, and it just seems
party of 4.
Party of 4, and you can actually play with 4 players in this game, not 2.
Oh.
So if me, you, Mikkel, and Steven all play a game together, all you got to do is create a new profile, name it,
so-and-so adventures or session, whatever, yeah.
Whatever, and then like we load into that profile, everybody hops in. I select which character everybody's playing. Which if we all join in at the same time, everybody gets to create their own character. And then we just go about playing the game. Like we don't have to pick up any of the side characters or any. I love that. Fun. That's pretty dope. And it's just tabletop, but interactive. Yeah. And everybody gets to do their thing. With a
little digital avatar.
So I'm loving it so far. I definitely want to dive a little bit deeper into it, but like I said, it is a little busted right now, guys. Don't be upset. Don't be worried.
Don't add them, bro.
Larian's gonna fucking fix everything. They're gonna make it. That's one of the developers that I trust is gonna just make everything pop and make everything really nice for everybody. So that was my week in a nutshell.
What'd you do the weekend?
I didn't really do anything, man.
I
got tomorrow. We're going to Texas Renaissance Festival.
What did you do last weekend?
That's
nothing. Okay,
nah. Okay. I was just saying tomorrow I've got Texas Renaissance Festival, which I'm excited for. Saturday, if I'm not hungover enough, I'm gonna get up to work and load up my truck because I got there so early today that nothing was ready. So I do need to do that, but I plan on getting shitty drunk and dressing up tomorrow and having a good time and wearing a mask and all that good stuff and being safe. So you get tested at the door.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How fast they turn around?
I think it's like 15 minutes to an hour or something like that. So it's not too bad. So hopefully I don't get kicked out. Like,
go home.
Go home, creep.
Fuck.
Your move, creep. But other than that, man, that was pretty much my week in a nutshell. How was your week, dude?
My week right at the bat, work was easy, good. I knocked it out. It was not too bad. Monday, Tuesday, played Street Fighter. I went up. I was at super gold, super gold, and I left it at gold.
You left it at gold. This week?
Yeah, that was this week. I didn't play Wednesday because I was gonna do research for the podcast, and I couldn't find nothing, dude. Like I saw some things, I was like, that sounds interesting.
Right.
Okay, nothing. And then like I look at some things, nothing. And then one of my fighting game podcasts, they were doing just a live stream of them doing casuals. So I just kind of watched that for a minute. And then Thursday, I was like, I'm going to get back to Street Fighter. Like, no, I didn't do any research for the podcast. Let me do some more research. And I actually found some more stuff on Thursday night.
Yeah, I got stuff more later in the week.
Yeah, it was, because usually I save it for Wednesday. And by midway through the week, I could find some good stuff. Things that happen over the weekend or the beginning of the week and stuff like that. But it was Thursday when I found some stuff. But that was cool. Fine. And even then, it wasn't that much. But yeah, mostly just played Street Fighter. So I got to the point where I got freaking just tore up by Nabuki. And it just felt like every time I was trying to get in to do trying to play the neutral and get close, like she would just either hit me with her and she doesn't even have like long limbs or nothing, but she just kind of, the way she kind of does her high kick, her heavy kick, she kind of just jumps in the air and does like a split, so it kind of has some far reach. On her V skill, she kind of like bounces back, it's kind of like she puts her palm strike out. It has some far reach, and I just couldn't really close the gap with Nakali. And I was like, I messaged John, I was like, I think I want to be like find another character. You tried playing somebody else? I'm like, the flashback. No.
Laura?
that was like when we were just
Day
testing
one.
out characters. Yeah, we were like testing out characters. She was always in the maybe pile. It wasn't until like Nakali. But even then, I got Nakali and I just fell in love with them, just use them. But I was like, well, maybe Gil. I do kind of like him. Or I could be a degenerate and use G or Seth like everybody else is, and just wait till they nerf the shit out of them and then leave them.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, like everybody. Honestly, like there's a lot of top players. Like I'm just gonna play Seth until I get to the top,
fix it.
because they're gonna. I'm gonna play him now because I know they're gonna nerf him in the next patch. So I'm like, I should be that filthy degenerate. And John's like, stick to Abigail. I'm like, son of a bitch. I thought we were friends. He's like, we were until you chose Abigail. I was like, son of a bitch. You got me. I shouldn't have picked Abigail. Everybody gets mad when I pick that character. But so yeah, just a lot of Street Fighter. I think that's it.
No Bloodborne this week?
No, I didn't play Bloodborne because I was too scared. I was too scared of being rusty at playing Street Fighter.
As much as you up-talked Bloodborne last week, and then you didn't play it all this week, I are sad.
No, it's
You're
because
like, I'm gonna knock out.
Alternate. I'll go Bloodborne. Like I make 2 out of 3 streams Bloodborne, and then 2 out of 3 streams Street Fighter.
Okay, fair
enough. Then next week I'll go back to Bloodborne. Just kind of eat back and forth. I try to just alternate it, just kind of that way. Like I don't want to be like shift gears. Just okay. I got a whole week of just, or a majority of the week of playing this game, and then the next week I'll just shift over to what you call it.
I forgot to mention Genshin Impact. I did try.
Is that free to play?
Yeah. Free to play.
How much microtransactions and how much ads?
the ads aren't really there, but they do like want you, like they do have like missions on the daily, like hey, test out this character and blah 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 blah, and like you play the character and you're like fuck, this character's badass, and then you realize like you have to buy like boxes or wishes, and then like the wishes give you a chance to get a character, and even then it's not like guaranteed. Like they said every 10 rolls will get you a character, but fuck, 10 rolls is like $10 or whatever it is. You know what I'm
use
saying?
in-game currency?
You can,
But it's real slow. It's really hard
real
to get.
slow. And then like I mean I
hate that, dude.
I played it for a little bit. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I put like 20 or 30 hours into it.
Just your hot take. Your hot take.
I tried it. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned this during mine. I don't mean to interrupt yours. And
that's our fucking podcast. We do whatever the fuck we want.
But I forgot that I did talk to you about that.
Yeah.
But I did try it.
And I wanted to bring it up last Friday because I know that's when it came out, and I think I saw Kevin playing it. It looked very colorful. It looked very Breath of the Wild. The animation looks
very
like
much.
it, and that's not like a knock. You know, if
he did it on purpose.
If you copy Breath of the Wild, it's okay because Breath of the Wild to me, even though I'm not crazy about open world games, I think that is the game to play.
Right.
I love that game because you honestly you have freedom to do anything you want.
Right.
You see that mountain, you climb that fucking mountain.
Right.
Dude. I mean, that game is too good.
Right.
You know? So when I see Genshin and I see that art style and people are like, it was just copying Breath of the Wild, like that's not a bad game to copy. You know.
That's a great game.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty, but I don't know how it plays or what it does. And the fact, and I thought it was just a $60 game, with open world RPG elements with pretty colors.
Right.
I didn't know it was a free game chock full of microtransactions based off of. I think it's based off a gacha game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a gacha game at its core, but like you don't actually have to do any of that stuff. It's not going to hinder you from completing the game or anything like that, which is okay. I'm fine with that. But also, it is a free game. If you wanted to throw $60 at it because you believe that it's worth it, then fine, throw $60 at it. But don't do anything more than that.
But you know what you're getting yourself into.
You know what you're getting yourself into. I feel like if you love a free-to-play game, like I love Path of Exile. I don't play it anymore just because it's a gotcha game. It definitely is. They throw all these badass
gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. They throw all these badass like MTXs and everything at you, and you're like, fuck, I want that portal skin. And it doesn't even fucking matter. Like it has nothing to do with it. And that's the exact same way that Genshin plays out. But yeah, man, I think that the gameplay is fun. But you know what? It really made me wish. It made me wish that I could play Breath of the Wild on my PC at 1440p and 100 frames a second.
Just play handheld. That game's perfect.
But like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it made me want. Like, if I'm playing a single player game, I'd rather just play Breath of the Wild where it's perfected, and like Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out. So I gave up on Genshin Impact, and I'm gonna end up having to finish because I never finished it. I'm gonna have to end up finishing Breath of the Wild, which is another thing that's on my list. Yeah, I gotta finish it. So I think I'm like halfway through that one too, and I just kind of like I don't know what happened. Like I just stopped playing, but I'm just gonna pick it back up, go right back to the.
It's not really hard.
Nah,
it's just like what I like about Breath of the Wild is like you go to like a shrine or something, and they're small, they're short, they're not super long, and it's like all the answers you already have them. You just gotta know how to apply them, whether using the magnet to do this, or throwing a bomb to hit that, or using what other mechanics did you have? Using an ice block to do this. Like it's just you have all the answers. It's like how clever are you to just think of it and find the answer? And I remember some times where I was stuck at this one shrine. I think they're called shrines.
Yeah.
I was stuck at the one shrine, and I told David, I was like, David, I'm fucking stuck, dude. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to bounce off, shoot an arrow, delay it, jump off, bounce, fly through here, go through the ring. He's like, nah, dude. All you gotta do is just put a bomb here and let it go over here. It'll blow up, and then like that's it. He's like, yeah. Like that's all you had to do. I'm all over analyzing and shit. I'm like, but the game gives you everything you need, and it's such a beautiful game. I love it.
It's a great game, and that's what it made me wish that I could just play it on my PC at better graphic quality. Because like even if you're in docked mode or whatever, it doesn't look as good as Genshin Impact. Because Genshin Impact, I can put it at full.
For that.
Yeah, I can put it at full 1440. Dude, it looks better on my phone than Breath of the Wild does, and I'm just like, why does it look this good?
I have to check on that.
It's that good.
Maybe I'll give it that. Maybe Breath of the Wild gets some frame rate issues every once in a while, but that's about it. Like other than that though, like
and the
I'm not
slow
gonna knock
load times.
I'm not gonna knock it. Yeah, the load times there.
A little bit. But I didn't mean to overtake your week in gaming, but I forgot to mention.
No, that's fine. I wanted to talk about Genshin.
I did play.
I was
Genshin
curious
Impact.
because I go on Twitch and some of the people that I watch like playing Genshin. I'm like,
I think if you or Mikkel picked it up and played not to play together, but to like just play a game, you're not gonna spend any money or anything like that. Like a lot of the systems are a little weird. Like character levels are separate from your adventure level, which is like your world level, like doing things in the world. You know, you can level up your weapons, and that can be a little bit grindy. And then like I do like the combat aspect of it, where like you have 4 different characters in your party that you choose, and these are the ones that they give you.
Yeah.
And then like they can tag team off of each other. So if you have like a water and a lightning character, like your water character comes out first, douses them with the water, and then you pull out your lightning character and fucking electrify them, and then you fucking
like elemental combos and stuff.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. But like it's not Breath of the Wild, but at the same time it's its own thing. But it is a little convoluted and like.
Chinese developers, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't type out Taiwan.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it on the subreddit. I'm like,
you can't type out Taiwan or Nazi or some other shit like that.
I was like, okay, well, it's their game. They can do what they want.
But I think it is. I think it is a solid free to play game. It is a gacha game because once you spend money on it, here's the problem. Once you spend money and they give you that first boom yellow and that dopamine hits in your brain, then you're like, oh shit, I need another yellow, or I want this character who's top tier character, or. I
guess I have some sort of like immunity to it because like I've never been fascinated with like like when I play Diablo and I see the things drop, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. But when I have to like pay to start getting stuff, I'm like, no. I just don't see the intrigue, the pull, the draw of actually having to drop money and welling out on gacha games. That's just me personally.
If you could purchase the character that you wanted and not have it be a random, and then you get duplicates.
Yeah,
I would be okay with that. Like if it was that kind of gacha game, then I'd be fine. I would spend the money. Like I want that character. Mm-hmm. You know, like if Street Fighter comes out with some fucking character, and then they're like, oh, you don't get it unless you spend your CP or BP or whatever it's called. And you don't get it unless you spend this, and then you can only spend it on the boxes, and then you have a chance to get that character.
Sucks.
But then on top of that, if you get that character, it might be a 1-star character, but it could
he doesn't have a high kick.
It's too, it's just too much.
You got this character, but he doesn't have a heavy kick. Like,
yeah, that's just too much. Like that's too many layers of bullshit. Like if you give me 1 or 2 layers of bullshit,
I'll dig through it.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. You give me 6, 7, because it's not only the characters, it's the weapons, it's the artifacts. It's the materials, and then on top of that, you have to level everything up.
Costumes.
Exactly. It's just too much.
Mounts.
Too much shit
Cosmetics.
on shit. Yeah, exactly. You keep on going, bro.
I know. I know exactly what that is, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, so that's too much. So I tried it. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Hey, you gave it the old college try.
I gave it the old college try.
The old college try.
I didn't go to college. No, I did. But it's just
Jack.
like... I did. St. Jack. And
North Campus.
Lincoln
13th grade.
Lincoln Tech. Let's
there
go. I went to tech school, bro. But yeah, so like, I like the game. I enjoy what it is and what it does. It's just not for everybody, and
definitely not.
And I feel like if you don't want to sink any money into it, you could get through the whole game front to back. But I mean, the landmass is just fucking massive. It's huge. It's a huge game. But like, how much time do you really want to sink into this? How many times in a day how many times do you want to log in a week and then they'll be like, hey man, why don't you try out this?
Jesus Christ.
Why don't you try out this?
That sucks.
You know, it is there.
I'm bombarded with that.
It is there. And I'm already like, I'm good. I'll play Baldur's Gate 3 for $60 and I'll be fine for $200.
Yeah, I play with my friends, yeah.
What else did you play this week? Just Street Fighter?
Just Street Fighter. What else did I do? Got me some new shoes, but that's not in gaming.
Oh, dude, those shoes are dope, dude.
Comfortable as shit. Even Mikhail wanted to
I told you. Yeah. I've been telling you.
It's like I'm like walking on a fucking cloud. I got the guys. I don't know if y'all know this, but I got
this episode is brought to you by Ultra Boost.
Dude, if they fucking sponsored us, like I'm in there.
All the Ultra Boost.
I'll put them all over the fucking wall.
I love my Ultra
Well, I remember you told me about them, and then Johnny told me about them too. And
Johnny brought it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you guys both told me about it, and
I always saw him in flip flops.
I was like, what's the whole thing about the Adidas? He's like, dude, the technology they use, that Ultra Boost stuff, it's stuff they got from NASA, and they're putting it into their shoes, and it's just like, well, what's the big deal about it? Like well, when you step it gets out that force and disperses it, makes it uneven, and then like actually tried on my shoes. I'm like,
did you actually go to the physical store?
Yeah, I actually went to the physical. I went to the Hibbett Sports, and actually they didn't have my size. they had size 12. Like, you want size 12? I'm like, no, it's too fucking huge.
Way too big. Why would I want that?
Yeah. I was like, girl, I literally told you I want 10 and a half. Like, why do you have size 12? Wow. No, wait. So I just went to the website and I ordered it and it came in. I ordered it Saturday and it came in Thursday. But when I was at the store, I tried some on. You know.
Just not the colors that you want.
Yeah, not the color and the styles that I wanted. I was like, oh my god, these just feel so good. And the thing is, they don't have a tongue. They just slip them on.
It's a sock.
Yeah, it's a sock, and you just have the cage so you can tighten up if you need it. And it's just so light and it's so refreshing, and I can move because it's just a mesh upper, and it's like walking on a cloud. And yeah, they're pricey, but I think shoes is one of those things. Shoes are one of those things that you get what you buy. You get what you pay for. Kind of like a gaming chair. You get a chair. Now you get a nice gaming chair, where you sit down and you're like, oh,
or a good monitor,
or a good monitor, or a good mic,
keyboard,
or a keyboard. It's you forget how you could get some lesser stuff and you're like, okay, I'm fine, But then there's some stuff that you kind of need to put in investment,
right,
to get the good stuff.
Maybe we should upgrade the mic.
Yeah, because I tell get the Shure MBM7s or whatever. Everybody has those.
Why not?
No, these are good. These are good mid-level mics.
They are good.
They're good mid-level.
They're good. They just pick up everything. They pick up that ice that you were moving around earlier. They pick up fucking,
right here.
Yeah, it's like it's all good.
But I got the shoes and I'm loving it. And
I want to try yours on because I actually never tried on the DNAs. I only have like the regular Ultra Boost.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at the DNAs because I do like some of their styles.
And the colors, dude. Like
the colors
you could really customize your wardrobe with what.
Man, it sounds like a big ass ad for Ultra Boost. They are doing a new shoe that's gonna be like 3D printed. Have you seen this?
No.
Or like I get news on Ultra Boost stuff all the time, but they are literally 3D printing the shoe where like a printer comes out and like makes the sole.
Fucking serious?
Yeah, out of like one single string, they make an entire shoe, and I'm like, what? Like, that's
interesting.
But it's like their future tech stuff. So if you look up Adidas like future tech, which is what they're working on for like the future. They show off some of that stuff all the time, and I looked up like all the colors that were coming out of Ultra Boost.
Colors and collabs, everything, dude. Yeah,
I've got the Darth Vader collabs.
Vader ones, yeah.
Those are the R1s though.
Yeah, and Johnny had the 3M collabs. So they
3Ms,
have
nice.
They have like that gray with like a reflective finish.
Yeah,
on it. Like,
that's dope.
Legit, man. So, yeah, so that was about it, pretty much just gaming, looking for stuff up.
Welcome to the Adidas Club. By the way.
I wanted to play Hades. I kind of just took a step back.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
I need to get back in there.
So fucking good.
I played it maybe once since version 1.0, but I want to get back in there, and I gotta complete it. I saw you complete it. I was like, I gotta get back in there and finish it myself because it's so good.
It's a little bit harder on the Hades fight. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Hades fight is a little bit harder now because he pops out more ads. He pops out more
harder
skulls. Not really, but he is a little bit harder.
I think I got stuck on Theseus and Astraeus.
Minotaur.
Yeah. I think that's. I was like, Elysium's just a bitch. That's that whole biome.
I hate that biome. It's my least favorite.
The chariots are a bitch.
But I also hate the last biome too, like the poison. The poison's.
You gotta be on top of the poison because you gotta walk all the only way to get cured is if you go to the little stand.
The shrines.
Yeah, the shrines to get the poison off of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, want to go into a little bit of gaming news?
Sure, man. We've been an hour in, and it's just
not
our
been
weeks.
It's not been an hour, is it? What's the timer?
48 minutes.
Hey, go fuck yourself. We love you. I want to talk about.
Just making up for the lack of gaming news that happened this week.
A little
Sorry.
bit. So I don't want to. We love games and we like to celebrate games, but sometimes some games don't do all that good. And right now, the Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, that's doing real bad.
It's dipping below 1K players.
They actually
player base on PC.
They, under 100,000 is what it was.
Was it?
It was under 100,000, and it's causing trouble in matchmaking. But they also put out a tweet.
For console or PC?
PC.
Okay, really?
They
okay.
also, it was, I could have sworn it was 100.
It's
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So it's 1,000. So according to Forbes,
under 1,000.
100,000. So according to it's my source is Forbes.com. So Paul Tassi, he wrote literally the same article a year ago, and I'm quoting him. Okay, he says, "Except replace Crystal Dynamic with BioWare and Avengers with Anthem," and he literally posted his article, and you see, I'm like, this is what happens. Okay, I don't know what happens, but using off what we have seen, it comes out really it comes really hype, and then I guess they realize, hey, there's not really much here to do. From what I've been reading on like the posts,
there's no in game
and Reddit. It's just like it's repetitive. Like the dailies are repetitive. You have like these 5 different dailies. And sometimes they duplicate, and you're fighting drones, just different versions of drones.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, that has to suck. That has to suck, especially as a developer. You know, you're and you have such a strong IP with the Marvel Avengers.
They have all the.
You know,
all
and,
the
and
ability in the world.
they're slowly going to release some characters. I know. I think in a month they're going to release Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. So hopefully, maybe this could bring some more spark into the game. And even we kind of called it when we saw it. I mean, we're not saying like, "Hey, we said so," but we kind of looked at it. We're like,
"You want to talk about gacha game? That's a gacha game. That's $60 up front."
And the thing, well, yeah, 60. Yeah, they just blind you. They just take
they
the money
just
outside.
oh, you want Avengers? $60, please.
And the thing is, that I think they were talking about. I remember. I think it was during E3. Like, we're not gonna have any microtransactions. So I'm curious how that's gonna hold up. Yeah. If they're gonna backtrack on that, or maybe have to be like, well, guys, we had some little delays and we need to make some money.
They put out a Trump-style tweet earlier today. Yeah, you know, like that whole.
It's a tremendous tweet.
No, like a Proud Boys like a Proud Boys stand back and stand by type of tweet. They're like, don't worry, guys, new content's coming. Please wait, like new content's coming. Basic type of tweet, dude. That's basically what they put out there.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, they were like, be on the lookout for some new stuff coming. It's coming soon. Like trying to hold on to everybody.
The Proud Boys of gaming. Hold on, boys, we're ready.
So, I didn't see it in that game. To be honest with you, I never saw it. Especially when I saw the gameplay back at E3 whenever they had that. What was it? The bridge demo?
Yeah, they're fighting the bridge in the streets and stuff.
It looked like it was on rails, and it looked like, first of all, why is Thor hitting a human and he not exploding, just evaporating?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, if you make a fighting game with the Avengers and, like, all their villains and stuff, that would make more sense. Kind of like Injustice or something like that. Yeah. Like, that would make more sense.
But even then, like, the story said, like, everybody's affected, or, like, Superman got hit. Affected by kryptonite, or like in DBFZ, everybody's affected by some sort of suppression wave that's, you know, they're all
make it make sense.
Yeah.
But if this guy is shooting at me and I'm losing
literally
health,
God.
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
Oh wait, so you got an enemy with a shield, and Captain America's shield is made out of vibranium, and I'm throwing this indestructible shield at your shield, but your shield can block my shield. Fuck off.
Right, and I know you're wearing his body armor.
It's like, what are we? You have a shield, but it's blocking my shield.
You have a right shield, yeah.
It was so stupid. Like, I was watching some of the gameplay of it. I was not impressed. I was not impressed with the beta. I was not impressed with the E3 demos. I wasn't impressed by the whole thing, and it makes me a little sad. Like, they have the biggest movie franchise in the world,
yeah,
and they're kind of squandering it. You know, it's like they're kind of like ruining this great thing, and it's all about what's her not Elastigirl, but you know what I'm talking about.
Miss Marvel.
It's not Miss Marvel. Elastigirl. She's like stretchy arms.
Yeah.
Is that Miss Marvel?
It's Miss Marvel.
Is it?
Yeah. There's like five versions of her.
I don't know what her name is.
You're thinking about Captain Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking.
Triggered.
I don't know why I was thinking Brie Larson.
Morris is like, you're wrong.
Anyway, whatever. Elastigirl.
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, but female.
But female.
Don't assume her gender. Yeah, it just didn't look like it was the greatest thing in the world to me, and like, I'm not gonna be suckered in just because of a name.
I think what happened was, my opinion, if you ask me, is just they probably tried to do too much. You know, when you have this many characters, you're going to start recycling some assets. Some things are going to start looking very similar. And I think that's why, like, Insomniac Spider-Man did so well, because you're literally just focusing on Spider-Man and his pantheon. Mm-hmm. And they're each unique characters, and you're just doing, you know, you have a story to tell, and you're going to play it out. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not something where you got to go back in there and just do repetitive, get loot and do dailies and stuff like that. So I just think Insomniac just handled it a lot better with what they're doing compared to what Crystal Dynamics, and I think there's just a lot, and I think a lot of hype went into it, and now it's kind of like,
I wasn't even hyped, dude. I didn't know that they paid streamers off to stream it, like during beta or alpha or whatever, and be like, "Oh, I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited." Like, they had been streaming it for like the longest time, dude. And a lot of game companies do that.
Oh yeah.
But I do give respect where respect is due. Insomniac did do a great job with Spider-Man. I just don't feel like Crystal Dynamics or whatever did a good job with this one, and I saw the writing on the wall. Like I wasn't pre-ordering this game; it wasn't like on my list or anything.
Like if one of my friends rents it and says, "Hey Rick, you want to try it out?" I'd be like,
Sure,
"I'll try it out.
I'll try it out.
I'll try it out."
But shouts out to Insomniac. They did tweet out earlier today that Spider-Man Miles Morales is
gold.
Gold, baby. Gold,
Right
good
around the
to
corner.
go
Right
for
around the
November 12th
Right around
release
the corner.
date.
So which is
A month,
a little bit over a month.
3
Today's
days.
the 9th.
A month
Yeah.
and 3 days. So,
Christ.
yeah, they tweeted out today or yesterday that Miles Morales is ready to go.
Did
ready
you
to be
watch the trailer? Not the trailer, but the Sony video when they break down the PlayStation 4?
pressed? Yes, I
Piece
want
by
to talk
piece
about
by
that.
piece by piece by piece.
I want to talk about that.
They explain why it's so huge.
Yes,
Something like
a lot of cooling.
that. Yeah, apparently that's what it is.
A lot of cooling. And I'm okay with that.
Well,
I'm okay with my
It's gonna have to be.
that thing right there that thing's a furnace, bro. I got this giant PC tower under here, and it is not as hot as like if I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima on that, and like just that, and I'm streaming or whatever, that thing heats up the room so bad.
The PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was playing Bloodborne or God of War, like it sounds like a jet engine's about to take off.
And you got a regular PlayStation, right?
I got a base PS4. Yeah, when I was playing Control, that motherfucker was like, "Hold on, dude."
Slow down.
It was like an old smoker trying to run. He's like, "Hold on." Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. How do you feel about having to take like a nickel to turn it from vertical to horizontal?
Not too bad. It's easy. I mean, it's a common item. If anything, I mean, I got a screwdriver laying around. I got change laying around. I got a key. That's fine. The whole.
How did you feel about Xbox making fun of them?
Were they making fun of them?
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see that part.
Xbox released it.
What they say?
You remember? Okay, so you remember E3 back when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One got announced, right? They got announced back to back, right? And then Xbox wasn't sure about how to like share games with people.
Yeah.
Okay, but PlayStation was like, "Here's how you share games on PS4. Hey man, you want to borrow this game? Yeah, sure." And then they take the game from each other, right? Okay, well this one, they release this teardown video of the PS5, and then Xbox just puts out a simple ass tweet. Here's how you change the Xbox from vertical to horizontal, and then just.
Pretty funny.
That was top tier content, bro. I was like, yo, that was a good answer back 6 years in advance. That was such
They were waiting
great...
for it.
They were just waiting for PlayStation to fuck up.
Got them now.
I got
We'll
this
just wait
son of
for
a
them.
bitch.
We'll get those motherfuckers. We got them.
Bro, that was so top tier. I was so proud of them. I was like, yo, good
Good
job.
job, guys.
Good
Good
job.
job,
I don't need a tool to take this thing apart. But did you watch the whole video?
No, I did not. I did not watch it at all. I just saw some bits and pieces where they actually broke it down, and I saw some parts where people were talking about the cooling system is really because of the size of
It's
what
like
it is.
bigger than that.
Yeah, and actually they held a regular PS4 Pro next to it. I'm like, it's considerably larger.
It was bigger than Homeboy's torso.
Was it?
Yeah. There was so
Small
many
dude.
memes.
He's a small man.
There was so many memes about that. Oh man, they made him like super tiny, and that thing was like a skyscraper.
So yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that I would be concerned about is actually finding real estate on my little entertainment center
Right.
to find it. I mean,
You're definitely putting it.
but honestly, I'm the kind of person where like every couple of weeks I'll just look at something and I'm like,
You're gonna be
need
like,
to
I don't
rearrange
play
this."
with you anymore.
I just like I like to rearrange things, because
Yeah.
actually tonight I'm gonna go to my brother's house and pick up his PS3 because he has a Gen 1 that could play
Oh,
PS2 and 1 games.
He has that.
Yeah, he has a
Those
Gen
are
1.
worth like $600.
Don't tell him that. So
Hey,
I'm
if you're
gonna borrow it
listening,
because I want
it's our
to
shit.
play Capcom versus SNK 2 because it's one of the games that I have and I just like it. And my Mad Catz TE editions, they actually have a Switch where you can just play PS3 or PS4. So I want to try that out and maybe have like a retro game night. I want so I want to try
Nice.
that out. So yeah, I told my brother like I called him. I was like, "Hey, what we doing?" He's like, "I'm on my way to eat at Spanky's." I'm like, "We gonna be home?" He's like, "Oh, like,
Later?
2 hours." I'm like, okay, cool. I'll swing by later, pick up that PlayStation. He's like, okay. He's like,
hey, calm down.
yeah.
But also,
He's like, what are you gonna do? Like, trying to PS3 save the PS3.
a Gen 1, dude. That's like the 80 gig model with like the 4 USB ports on that bitch.
That was expensive one.
That was the $600 one, which is still worth $600 today. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he has it, and because like, mine play old games. I'm like,
No,
we have to try it out.
it doesn't.
I don't think so.
It doesn't, Mikhail.
But I wanna go definitely swing by my brother's house and pick it up. And get some more games.
What were we just talking about?
We're talking about the size of the PS4
Oh,
and customizable plates.
I think that's a possibility.
So which gets me to thinking kind of how there was the Phantom Pain's version of the Xbox or the Destiny version of the not the Xbox of the PlayStation,
Right.
the God of War version of the I mean I
Last
could
of
definitely
Us.
see that. The Last of Us. I mean,
Cyberpunk.
yeah, you can make customizable if they make them, like that, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
They're definitely gonna do that. Definitely see a lot of like outside third-party manufacturers making them, just like they do for the Switch. Like it's literally 4 screws on the back and you get a clear back.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. This one you just lift up on one side and you slide it out. My big takeaways from that whole teardown video was 2 things.
Yep.
One, well, it was a lot of different things,
Okay.
but I liked how they broke it down before it releases. One of my favorite things was it had a vacuum port where you could just like put a vacuum on it and suck the dust out of it.
That is so
2 of them.
important. It's so innovative too because recently, this summer, spring. It's spring. It wasn't spring. It wasn't spring. I still had the PlayStation in the garage because that's where I just left it out there,
Right.
And I was trying to play Unist, in birth. I put the game in and beep boop, puts it back out.
Oh shit.
Put it in, beep boop, brings it back out.
Should I get a PlayStation 4, Ruben?
So I pop open the thing. I just Google YouTube how to clean your PlayStation. So I pop it off, get the special screwdriver, get it out. And oh my god, I looked inside of it. The dust was everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
Dust and little termites when the bugs came in and everything.
Oh, those little fucking
little bug mice that fly in the. Cause I have them in the garage. So sometimes they'll fly.
Right.
Get sucked in there. I'm all like, holy shit. So the fact that they're adding a little vacuum port just to make cleaning that much easier. Okay.
That was one of my big takeaways from it. I like the fact that you can clean out, and I liked the giant heat sink, which is basically like one side of the entire PlayStation. Like one side's the fan and the motherboard and the disc tray and all that shit, and the other side is like a giant heat sink. And that son of a bitch was
the size.
biggest heat sink I've ever seen, ever. It was so big, and the fan size was really good, and the way the fins looked were really good. But my second biggest takeaway from it was, besides the vacuum ports, was the fact that it's got expandable storage. As soon as you remove one slot, it's got a M.2, and multiple sizes. It had all four different bolt patterns that you could just slide into M.2, bolt it down, and you're good to go.
Isn't that what Xbox is using also?
No.
So aren't they using we could add extra expansion?
Yes.
Gigs?
You can add extra expansion, but it's proprietary by Seagate only, which means you can't buy a third-party hard drive.
Okay, it has to be their stuff.
It has to be their stuff. You can use a USB hard drive, and it won't be an issue.
Yeah, you can use a USB one, and it'll like store your games, but
Right.
you can't play it off of it.
Right. You have to transfer them
Yeah.
around.
But if you buy their proprietary ones,
You're fine.
it's just like adding just.
But
more
this
space,
one,
yeah.
I mean, you could literally add, I think the biggest M.2 right now is 3 terabytes or 2 terabytes, which isn't cheap, but if you wanted it, it is there.
But you probably don't need it day one. You're probably safe. It's something you need maybe down the road, maybe a year or two later. Of course, these games are going to be big right at the gate, or these games are big now. So I figured you're probably not going to need it right away, hopefully. I don't think that investment is needed.
There's an 8 terabyte NVMe M.2 for, you want to know?
2K.
Pretty damn close, $1,500.
$1,500. Yeah, but 8 gigs though? Or 8 terabytes?
8 terabytes.
No, you're fine, bro. If you're filling up 8 terabytes.
Well, did you hear about the storage that's day one PlayStation 5?
What?
Okay, so PlayStation 5 actually doesn't have a terabyte. It's got 849 gigabytes. It actually doesn't have a full terabyte. And then after all that stuff,
30 of it's for the OS.
200.
Sons of bitches.
So it's like 650. So it's just a little bit above this,
above
Series
current.
S.
Yeah.
A biscuit above Series S. And that doesn't include, I know Series S it's a 512, which is the one that I'm getting, and I know that it isn't that doesn't include like their operating system or whatever, which I think is like 80 gigs or something like that. But it isn't fucking 200 gigs, dude. And that was insane to me. I was like, you're not even giving me a full terabyte. But I do like the fact that they're giving me the option to, hey, just drop another 2 terabyte in there. Yeah, because I mean, an 8 terabyte M.2
I think you're fine for right now.
is 1.4.
You should be good. You should be fine, guys.
But I mean, the size of games these days, dude.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, how big was a Red Dead off the bat? 96.
100 and something gigs.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty's
Yeah,
225 on PC.
On PC, and I think right at the gate it was like another 90.
But that's a good segue into what Xbox is doing.
What they doing?
I don't know if PlayStation is doing this, but Xbox said that they're gonna allow you to delete portions of the game that you don't need.
Oh.
So if you only want the campaign, you don't have to put the multiplayer on there. If you only want the multiplayer, you don't have to have the campaign on there. So it'll help you. I mean, it isn't gonna save you all the space, but hey, it might,
if it shaves some things off.
Yeah, it'll help. So I think that with them doing that, I think that's a good step. I hope that PlayStation is doing that. They haven't really said whether or not they're doing that, so I can't hate on Sony yet.
Yeah, you're ready to hate?
No, I'm not ready to hate you because I want both. I want both consoles. But I do like the fact that Xbox is doing that. I remember that PlayStation would do it. Like, which do you want to install first? Do you want to install the multiplayer, or do you want to install the campaign?
Yeah, so you can start playing whichever.
So you can start playing something first, and then the other one would install later. Yeah. But it doesn't give you the option to delete one or the other.
Or hold one off or whatever, yeah.
Which is what I think that PlayStation should do in the next go around. But dude, that heatsink was giant. I hope that thing runs cool as shit. I love the custom SSD because it had they showed the little chips and everything like that. The NVM, not the NVMe RAM, but the new DNA2 processor from AMD.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and now it's actually they got the 3s that just got announced today.
Really?
Yeah, the 3s that got announced. They got the new the best gaming processor of all time. That type of shit. You know how it is every year.
Gaming.
Whatever. The new 5000 series they just announced. But yeah, man, I'm excited for PlayStation. I like the teardown. I didn't like that you had to use a tool or something to swap it. I thought that was kind of stupid. And you got to put the little bolt in there, and you got to twist the base, and then you stick the thing on there with the why does the bottom if you had it horizontal, why does it just clip on there and it's all good? But if you want to stand it up, you got to fucking bolt it onto the PlayStation. And you got to twist it too, right?
Got to lock it in place.
So it's pop it.
I did see that. Bop it, click it. Switch it. I saw on Reddit that the PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible with almost 4,000 PS4 games.
99%. There was 10 games.
And there's 10 that will get there's 10 that wouldn't, and a handful of games that will get an upgrade to that. So not too bad.
But not Control.
Not Control. That's odd. So what will get upgraded, guys? I'm not the biggest NRS fan in here.
NRS?
NetherRealm Studio.
Oh, Mortal
Kombat and Injustice.
You gotta explain it to the plebs.
I gotta tell you guys, yeah. So we're not the biggest fans. I know. I played Injustice. I have played very little Mortal Kombat. But the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer number 2, it dropped yesterday.
Yep.
It's new characters. We're getting Rain. I actually remember Rain because he came out in
MK3.
I think it was Ultimate.
Yeah.
I think it was Ultimate.
Because
he was like the ninja that was in the purple.
Mm-hmm.
Purple Rain.
No,
really.
Chocolate Rain.
Ed Boon, he does all those puns and stuff. He likes that. So, and he would have a tracker ball and a teleport kick, I think, like that. So he's coming out. Melina's coming out, which everybody. Okay. I'm not everybody because I don't care about. I don't play the game. I don't care. I'm not loyal to any character. But there's so many people that wanted Melina to come out, and there's some people that don't want Melina to come out. And I'm kind of the camp not to bring her out because just to hear them QQ. And the thing is, they're gonna get Melina, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, she doesn't play the same. Oh, she doesn't look the same. Oh, she's not as hot.
She's not the same as she used to be at MK2, bro.
She's not the same as she was. Yeah.
We're in MK11.
Yeah, that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna hear it, and I can't wait. I love when people get what they want. Oh, this character's garbage.
Like Dan.
Suck. I don't know about Dan.
Sorry. But everybody was calling out for Dan.
Everybody called out for Dan. And then, and of course,
Rambo.
It wouldn't be Mortal Kombat without an 80s action hero, John Rambo.
Chucking Rambo, bro. I was so stoked when I saw that shit.
I saw that. I was like,
I want to buy Mortal Kombat. Not only not only are they doing those characters, not only are you getting a fucking free upgrade to next gen platforms as well.
Yes. Free upgrade for the PS5, Xbox Series X, cross-gen, cross-play, reduced load times, 4K dynamic resolution, and visual. Like,
is Street Fighter 5 doing that for you?
They're not doing that.
Okay.
So that's why I'll give props to NRS. They are doing a great job. Ed Boon and the boys out there, and the girls, doing a good job supporting their game. Because usually, the way NRS does, they have a cycle. They literally have a cycle. Every 2 years, it'll go Mortal Kombat, Justice, Mortal Kombat, and Justice. And now we're coming up over in April will be 2 years because it came in 2019. So we're still in the good life cycle of Mortal Kombat, but it's still getting support. And I feel like they're really gonna. I think they even talked about wanting to break the cycle to 2 years. So I think this Mortal Kombat might be lasting longer than 2 years because usually once you find out, well, we're gonna stop playing this NRS game because we know the next one's coming out.
You know what? It blew me away whenever they said they were doing a free upgrade to the next gen consoles. Just because like they could have done the cash grab, Control, or what was the other one that we talked about recently?
Miles Morales.
Spider-Man. Yeah, exactly. So they could have gone like that route, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They decided like, hey, like if you love our game and you buy this new console, guess what? You can play on the new console with all the upgrade features and you know, just
Definitely.
whatever. And then like the pack with the fucking Rambo, dude. That is so dope.
They know how to pull out the favorite characters, the nostalgia, because they had Spawn, they had RoboCop, they had Terminator, and in Mortal Kombat X they had Leatherface, they had Alien, they had
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger?
I think it was Freddy Krueger.
I don't know they had Freddy Krueger, but they had different horror characters, icon characters, you know. So that's what I do like about NRS. They really know how to do this whole like the fact that a game has cross-play over all the platforms.
Predator.
Sorry. The fact that they have cross-play overall, that's awesome. I like that. That's great because it's good for the fighting game. Because now there's a lot more people you can play with. You know, it makes that stronger and better. And they were one of the first ones to have Wi-Fi indicators on their online gameplay. So if Capcom could take a page out of their playbook, that would be it. That would definitely be it. I mean, last night I was watching my.
How's the netcode though?
One of the stronger ones.
Because of the Wi-Fi's and all that
stuff?
Well,
not only that, but it's an American company, and they already know what the U.S. infrastructure is. Because a lot of times you'll have these game developers, Arc Systems, and Capcom, and Koei Tecmo. They're from Japan, so the internet there is they could use their systems, and it's fine because their infrastructure is just a lot better compared to you. I mean, if you look at Japan, you could literally stuff that in Texas like 5 times, you know. So when you have the U.S., a lot more than that. Yeah, I'm just throwing out numbers. But if you look at the U.S., you know, when you go coast to coast, Gulf Coast to the north, Midwest to wherever, it's just so much area to cover, you know. So I think that's what NRS nailed it. They're an American company. I think they're from Chicago. So they're able to really use their technology and infrastructure and just make it work. So I mean that's something I would like to see Capcom do. And just any fighting game, actually, because I love playing Eunice. I want to play more Grand Blue. But the thing is, if I can't play online, what's the point? I mean, I could play with some of the guys around, local, but even then, it's only going to be like 2 or 3 friends actually play. You know, so it's just,
I kind of want
in this day and age, you have to have an online play, especially for a fighting game, to survive.
I kind of want to pick up MK11 just because of the fact that I respected the decision that they made to do what it is that they did. So I feel like because you know all these other fighting games aren't gonna do that, I want to support what I think is a badass developer. And to round out those characters that you were just talking about, it was Leatherface, Xenomorph, Kratos, and what was
God of War Kratos?
Yes, God of War Kratos.
Maybe on the
and Jason Voorhees. Those are the.
Kratos.
But yeah, he's on the list right here, bro.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's just to finish that because I was like I knew I was forgetting one, but I think he might have been a PlayStation like exclusive. Of
he
course.
might be similar to how Soul Calibur back in the.
Oh man,
you could get Spawn, Darth Vader, and Link.
Right.
Depending on which console you got,
right.
Yeah.
But speaking of like freaking PlayStation, since we're talking about that and all that good stuff, a little while ago. Did you see that the change that they were making, or that they already made to their trophy system?
I saw somebody say, "Oh, I got a shit ton more trophies now." I don't know what change they made, and I haven't logged on to my PlayStation. Excuse me, to check. So I'm not too sure what they did. Like, whether they condensed some things or merged some things or what.
So they ended up changing the entire system to. I actually have it pulled up here. 1 second. Boop boop boop.
Boop, boop, boop.
All right. So they changed over the trophy structure to a numerical value, kind of like a gamer score. They implemented. I'll just read out here for you guys. And this is straight from the PlayStation blog. We've implemented a new trophy level calculation system that is more optimized and rewarding. Players will progress quicker through the early levels, and levels will increase more consistently. Platinum trophies will count more toward your level progression, making them even more valuable. So bronze levels is 1 through 299, silver is 300 to 599, gold 600 through 998, and platinum 999 and up. So that's how they're changing everything. It's more like a gamer score type deal. And I actually haven't logged on either in a while. I haven't turned that thing on since Ghost of Tsushima was like gone and done. But
you know what? I've never looked at the value of collecting trophies, but I always did look at the rarity.
Right.
Like, because you'll look at some statues, it'll say 22%. So out of everybody that has a game, you're that 22%. Like, I always thought that was interesting. To me, I like that more.
Yeah, so, I love that aspect of it. Like, oh, you're the top 1% that have collected.
Yeah, it makes to me that makes it more prestige that you're within that percentage. You know, right. That like, oh wow,
like only 1% of people have found this treasure.
Exactly,
this
or found this object, or just complete this trophy. And I always thought that was more interesting to me. You know, because there's some people who be like, I got 5 platinums. I'm like,
okay.
So you played a bunch of Telltale games. Good job. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, dude.
So you played Telltales. Good job.
Played Telltale games. Yeah. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, platinumed it. Yeah. You know? But when I see something that's rare, to me, that's more prestige to me. You know?
Right. So, yeah. Well, you know, Steven Steven completed. This is the first time I ever heard Steven like bring up platinum trophy was with Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of him. And the same thing with Juan. Like Juan said that the only game he ever platinum was Horizon.
Yeah, I remember Castro and he telling me that they platinum that game.
Platinum the game, and like oh okay, like oh you spent a lot of time in the game. Okay, cool. Like that's cool. Like I could learn a lot from you. But like you know, speaking of like Ghost, they got like their updates coming out next week.
I think so. I remember we talked about 16th? The multiplayer. I remember talking about the multiplayer's coming out or an update or something like that.
So the 16th is on Friday. So next Friday, guys, Ghost of Tsushima is releasing their new game plus. It's patch 1.1. Damn. It's gonna be multiplayer. It's gonna have new game plus for single player people. And then also that patch is the first patch to incorporate 60 FPS into their PlayStation 5.
The game boost.
The game boost and all that stuff. That's going to be one of the games that is definitely going to be boosted up, you know, with their better resolution and the better frame rates and everything. Because it's a first party game.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to say I'm going to pick that one back up, but I'm glad that it's there. I do want to try out the multiplayer with you and Steven.
Let's look at it, yeah.
For sure. I definitely want to try it out. But that is a little side note. And we will definitely have more news for you guys in 2 weeks because it does come out on Friday. And we're all going to be doing different shit. So give us another week, and then we'll definitely have something on that for you.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about the announcement for announcement. Which is kind of happening right now. But Guilty Gear, Arc System, they're having a backyard live events where they're a live stream where they're talking about what's going on. It's happening in Japan. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow, but I think it's happening to us now, and I think it started already because it started at 7 p.m. No, wait, October 10th. Yeah, so Saturday. So yeah, it's so fucking weird. Yeah, so on Saturday, October 10th, on 7 p.m., they're gonna have a special exhibition matches for Guilty Gear Strive. So you're gonna see the developers. They talk about it. About what's going on with the game. They're going to have special music videos. They're going to have exclusive video details, some live performances, new character reveals.
When was that supposed to happen?
That's going to happen. The original date's supposed to be like in October 11th. But it's going to
Japan time, though.
Yeah, but for us, when it affects us, it'll be October 10th, 7 p.m.
So, yeah, so it's tomorrow at, it's about to be lunchtime for them tomorrow. It's 11:25 tomorrow now for Japan.
Yeah,
So
so
it's like fucking time travel.
yeah, so you can have the game directors Daisuke Ishiwatari and Akira Katano. The game directors, they're gonna be talking about it. They're gonna have some of the top players, Goechi, Dogura, Fenrich, and all them, and some 4 official ambassadors. So I'm guessing people that just really like the game and going to talk about it.
Nice, dude. That's fucking big news, though.
That's for Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
I want to pick that one up.
When I start playing Guilty Gear Xrd Revelation, like the game is already out. Oh, fuck. It's kind of
You're behind the curve.
You're behind the curve, and it's like, shit. You kind of want to learn with someone while you're playing it, so you can be on the same page and level. Especially, and that's how I feel with fighting games. You kind of want to have someone to play with. Because you don't want, I guess you can, but the way I enjoy fighting games is playing someone that's on a relative same level with you are and just having fun with it, learning things. So hopefully Guilty Gear Strive, we're just going to have an early 2021 release. That'll be the one to, I really want to get into it. I'm just excited.
That's definitely the one I'm looking forward to the most good. For next year.
It just looks pretty. It's Arc Systems.
If
you like Grand Blue or DBFZ, or Guilty Gear, you know what you're getting yourself into. I just can't wait. So yeah, that's gonna be happening on tomorrow, and they're gonna have you can catch it on their Twitch stream, which is I think it's Twitch.
Arc Systems.
All right, Arc System US, something like that. But just Google it, you'll find it. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely that.
What else you got, brother?
I'm gonna saturate you guys with more Cyberpunk.
Oh shit!
Night City Wire episode 4 is gonna be on Thursday, October 15th. This time they're gonna be covering the looks, sounds, and specs of the vehicles. They're gonna have an episode just for the vehicles alone. I think that's how
they had all the different gangs, but they also tweeted out that they went gold.
Did they?
Yeah, you didn't see that? That was like Tuesday. That was like the biggest news of the week for me, and I've been waiting for you to bring up Cyberpunk.
Probably.
But yeah, they said that they went gold. They said that everything's ready to go. Like they're already, printing out.
All the polish is there.
All the polish is there. I mean, they were already working 7 days a week. Right. 7 days a week. No crunch. But hey, we're gonna crunch. Hey, but no crunch.
Crunch it up.
But
though.
Nestle Crunch.
Crunch it up. They never had this conversation with us.
Yeah, you never talked to us about this, guy. Come on, CDPR. Don't fucking overwork your people, guys. Like, be real.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't.
Was it there though?
I don't live that style. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to. And much of that, they're like in Poland, so I don't even know how different the work culture is over there. Maybe
they're like 4-hour days.
Yeah, maybe to them they're like, crunch is like 4-hour days.
They're working us to death.
Yeah, with an hour lunch break.
But you got crunch coming up next month.
That's peak season.
That's crunch.
That's gonna be busy.
Get on your shit.
That's fine though. That means I can just buy it.
But I'm excited, guys. It's definitely the game I've been looking forward to for 7 years since I first saw it.
Since you finished
E3. Since I saw it at E3 7 years ago, no big deal. This is only the game I've been looking forward to the most. I haven't seen any of the side videos of it. Like ever since the E3 like little 18-minute gameplay demo,
yeah,
I haven't watched a single fucking thing.
I chose not to watch anything. I want
to wipe my hands with it, and I want it to be fresh. I don't want to know everything about the gang before I even fucking.
So
hop
quick
into
conversation before we wrap things up. You think there's something about kind of like how CD Projekt Red did? They announced a game 7 years ago, or how kind of Bethesda is with Skyrim 6 or Oblivion 6 or their next
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, the next Elder Scrolls or the next Starmine or
that's
sci-fi one.
Something different.
But something that's like years ahead. You think they should do that, or you think it should be like, oh hey, in X months we got something coming up,
right?
Or do you think there's value in dropping a little crumb here, years out, and then waiting for it to come back out and be like, and actually when it's something, okay. A little bit longer, guys.
But Bethesda's done both sides of that coin. They've done it to where I remember E3, whenever Fallout 4 was coming out. E3 happened. They did their conference, and in November, Fallout 4 dropped. Right? Like I was so hyped for Fallout 4, and like the hype was already there, and it was there the whole because I knew I was getting it this year. But if they were like, oh, Fallout 4 in 15 years. Then I would have been fucking like, I don't care.
Why did you tell me that?
Why are you telling me that you're working on something that I don't give a shit about? And like, what I enjoy about it is like whenever they tell you real quick, like they did with Fallout 4, and then the hype dies down so fast because the game was shit. But like,
76.
Yeah, that too. But like, what I don't like is whenever you get hyped up for a game that gets canceled, or like stopped halfway through development or whatever.
That's what happened with Metroid Prime.
That one's still happening.
No, it happened and it stopped,
then it's
Then
happening,
it's happening again. Yeah.
But I would rather not know about those things
Same here.
until like I would rather not know within if as long as it's happening within 6 months, then I don't want to know anymore. But like it's part of our job to like talk about these kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? But like for games that I enjoy and love, like Baldur's Gate is a good way to do things. Like I was so hyped on this game whenever it first got announced. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I want to play this game. I want to play this game. I want to play this game. And then like it came out, and then I finally got my hands on it, and I'm like enjoying it, but I know that it's not there yet.
It's a
But
complete product, yeah.
but I know that it's an early access game, so I'm gonna be following along with the development and like replaying as they add new classes and to see what I really want to do with this game. Like I enjoy that aspect of it. I would rather they do that.
Maybe that'd be the way to go. Actually, like announce something, then hey, we have an early access. You could try it out.
Because if I pre-order something and I pay for it, like Fallout 4 or whatever, and like if I pre-order something and you have access to give me that thing right then and there, and then in a stable yet unstable,
stable but incomplete state or something.
Yeah, then I'd rather do that all day. Hades, perfect example.
Yeah, I think they did.
Hades was fucking phenomenal the whole way through, and it doesn't matter if I played, I think I started playing in January or February, or now, like that hasn't stopped my love for that game. Yeah. It didn't stop my love for Dead Cells. It isn't gonna stop it stopped my love for DayZ because DayZ just fucked up. But like
the one with your Deacon St. John.
No, DayZ, not Days Gone, but DayZ, where you it's like a battle royale, but like zombies.
Okay, yeah.
I would prefer they do something like that. Like I can at least satiate my hype.
Yeah.
Like I can touch it. I know it's fucking real. You're not gonna like you're not gonna tease it and then take it away from me and then like, oh, it's delayed because of whatever. It doesn't even have to be fucking COVID anymore. It's like, oh, it's delayed because we don't want to crunch, or the game was ready, but we just want to put a little bit more
director, or
we just want to put a little bit more polish on it, or some shit like that. Like, why are you
Don't string me along.
Why are you putting fucking 10 videos out this summer when the game looks fucking complete? Cyberpunk, I love you guys, CDPR, but like, why are you putting out fucking? We talked about it already, but like, why are you putting 15 fucking videos out about the gangs when I could have just been playing the game already and learning about the gangs
myself
firsthand instead of you feeding me this information that doesn't make any sense? Like, I feel like that is one of the biggest downfalls of that game right now is that they didn't tell me about it because I chose to stay away from it. But like,
it feels like you already know the first 2 hours of the game.
Like, yeah,
without actually
getting
in the game,
fucking knowing it, and that kind of ruins it for me. And then like the map has already been released,
I saw that,
and like all kinds of other stuff. But I want to learn about it before like let me have a chance to learn about it firsthand, not fucking somebody else.
Especially like trying to cover our hobby of podcasting and gaming. We're having to look for news, and sometimes you might see something you don't want to see personally. Like you might want to cover something for the podcast, but like me personally, like I didn't want to see this.
I didn't want to see it personally.
You know what I'm talking about? It's just I just really wish like maybe some people love the hype. Maybe they like getting a little breadcrumb years out and getting hype for it. Me personally, like I got enough stuff to worry about and hype about that I'm good where I'm at.
You know how bad
if you just tell me like, hey, Street Fighter 6 coming out summer 2021. Okay, cool. It's within reach. Fine, cool, whatever. But when it's like, we got a little trailer, still in early development.
No big deal.
Kind of like the League of Legends games, the Riot games. Like they're fighting it. Like, yeah, it's already early access. Like, come on, motherfuckers! Don't tell me. Just tell me when it's getting close, because now I got to like start thinking about that. I don't want to think about that.
You know how bad I used to be. I used to get so hyped for shit when a game.
Off.
Nope.
What?
Nope. You want to know how bad I was?
How bad?
I was so bad about being hyped for games that I would go to the store a week before because I know they have it already, and I would just bribe an employee. Hey man, how about
You're terrible.
Copy for $100?
Terrible.
Plus, paying for a full price game. Okay. I would get games 2 weeks before. If I saw that they posted on Reddit, because I've been on Reddit for like 9 years, but if I saw that they posted on Reddit, like, oh, this vendors already got the copy. You know what I mean? Like, this went gold or whatever. Then I know in
Somebody has it.
2 weeks they're gonna have it. Mom and pops, dude, fuck, they don't care. They already got
That's
copies of the
true.
game.
That's true. How was it when like we saw Final Fantasy and like a week ahead, people already having their
Yeah.
like they're all on Twitter like, hey, check out my copy, you sons of.
I used to be that bad. I used to go to places and be like,
You
yo,
disgust me.
let me catch a copy of that. I'll give you an extra bill
Disgust me.
plus paying for the game.
Scum.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's how bad I used to be. So that hype shit drives me nuts. Like I used to be easily susceptible. Am I still? No, not really.
Yes.
Like I got plenty of other shit to play. Plenty of other shit. Did you hear about the Activision closing Activision Blizzard, excuse me, closing their France
I
office?
saw that.
What do you think?
Nothing. Not enough to like write it down because I literally saw that and I was like,
That's like a lot of people losing their jobs though. in the
well, I
gaming
mean,
industry.
I'm not callous to the job. Like, hey, people losing jobs, but it's like
You don't think that's like a sign of the times for them, or
maybe it
anything?
could be. It could be.
Like,
I,
that could have
the
been
thing
like
is,
the ones handing the
But
WoW.
the thing is, like, to me, there's nothing there that draws me in. They don't get my revenue. They don't get my attention. There's nothing in Activision.
They got you
that
with Call of
says-
Duty.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, as for how much I got the base game, and that is it. I invested zero. I
Right.
mean, and even then, like, I enjoyed it because it came back around to the one that I wanted to play, the Modern
Right,
Warfare
Modern
one.
Warfare, yeah.
But I know they have other versions coming out. It's just like, I mean, yeah, of course, I'm not callous to the fact that people lost jobs. But
So-
let's face the facts: people are losing jobs
Right.
every day, and there's a lot worse situations you could be in than losing a job.
Can I do a quick, not a quick aside, but like something to like tag along with
Sure.
this? With how do I word this question here? Do you think it's time to like stop buying into some franchises and like in kind of like hopes, not like boycotting, but like you know what they are. You know what
We
League
know-
of
we know-
Legends is. You know what.
we know what
Genshin
what,
Impact
we know
is.
we know what FIFA 2K.
Oh my god!
is.
Did you see the?
I saw a quick.
Did you
just
see
a
the
quick-
IGN review?
I just saw IGN like they just lazily
They
copy
copy
posted
pasted.
from last year's or whatever.
That was so gangster. Shouts out to IGN.
Fuck IGN.
That was so
Don't
gangster.
shout out to
That
IGN.
was
Don't
gangster
shout-
shit.
That's not
Oh,
gangster.
we're gonna be lazy like y'all were lazy.
That's not gangster. Being
That's-
lazy is
that's-
not gangster. That's
That
funny.
was fucking hilarious.
That's funny. If gangsters copied game reviews, you're not a fucking gangster.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. That was so against the norm. I
No,
was,
yeah,
I was
that was
loving it.
clever.
Very
But
good.
yeah, stuff like that where like we know the games that come out every year. We know what microtransactions.
Do you think
are.
it's time to fucking like, hey man, step up your game?
We can. We could voice our opinion. We could do our little part. But those games appeal to the masses, and the masses love. They love that. You know, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
So if I come to you next month and I'm like, Rick, Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War is the greatest game of all time. It's got everything that you've ever
You can't
wanted.
sell me on it though, because
But I bought you a copy. Here you go. Here's a copy.
Oh, I'll be like, thanks.
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 Not gonna play this.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. You know, but
But it's got free to play too. It's got gotcha game.
there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there that draws me.
I don't think I think that like I want. Don't get me wrong, dude. I love being competitive in video games, and I love a new story and all those types of games. But like, if I had to choose one or the other, I'd rather choose a badass new story than I would like
The
multiplayer. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. Like right
There's
now.
nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong, and I think that's probably the appeal of having those games because some people love the multiplayer. Maybe some people love the the campaign, and it targets what they want, and it's a fast action. You drop in and out, and everybody else is playing it. It's fun,
Right.
but
I had 2 experiments this year.
Mhm.
2 goals is I wanted to complete a certain amount of games and I wanted to complete a certain amount of books. And with completing all these single player games that I did get to complete and like, you know, swapping my stream primarily over to like a multiplayer type of stream, I miss just streaming single player games like or co-op games or you know whatever it was like
go back and do it.
but I prefer that model like of what I was doing. Like I was having a fucking blast playing Death Stranding or you know Fire Emblem 3 Houses
Or Last of Us.
or whatever. And then like it doesn't matter about like you know like viewer retention or anything like that as long as I'm having a good time and
That's what
you're
it is.
having a good time.
That's what it is.
But like I was like, oh, I'm gonna swap over to multiplayer games and this and that. And, like and like I said earlier in the show, it just felt like I was working the entire time, and I don't want it to feel like work. I want it to be fun.
Is that why you went to multiplayer, just to get some of the
No.
more eyes on?
I wanted to do multiplayer because it seemed like it would be more interactive, but it turns out it's not, because I can't stop and turn and look and talk to you as if I was like, oh, like let's figure this shit out together. It's just me doing something, and then whenever something bad happens to me, I'm looking over like, oh yeah, that shit sucked, right? But like I still do enjoy doing it, but not as much as I was like when I was playing. Well, I say we because y'all were all there with me, like Death Stranding or Last of Us, or
I remember
Fire
one
Emblem.
time. I remember when I was stuck with the COVID, and I was watching
The
you
COVID.
watch the COVID. When I was watching you play Horizon Zero Dawn,
Oh,
it was
that,
like me, Copeland, and I think Travis would drop in sometimes.
Yeah,
And it was just casual because you could literally chat because you have time to chat. You know,
Yeah,
we're like,
pause
hey,
the
go,
game.
we're like, hey, go jump off of that. You know, but when you play, you know, you're playing the competitive one-on-one games or 1v or X party games or fighting games or shooting games, whatever. Your focus has to be there, so you kind of lose the interaction with the chat. And that's one thing I do like about streaming is the interactions with the chat. You know, I like when random people just pop in and start talking. You know?
I love that shit.
To me, that's the fun part. So that's what I do like. And I think it's just when I play Street Fighter Online, I do have for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to be playing this game. And then it stops because then, you know, I go to in between matches, finding matches, and I could just sit back and just check with chat and be like, hey, what's up, guys? How are you? What do you think about this match? Blah, blah, blah. And here's another match.
You're still good about checking your chat, though.
Which I shouldn't, because I know sometimes I see it in my eye, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it pops up.
And it draws me, and I'm like getting jumped in with the heavy punch. Like,
that dopamine hit, you're like, boom, yellow just popped up in the air.
Yeah, because the thing is, the little CFOS icon, the little ping number will pop up, and sometimes I think it's chat. Scrolling. I need to stop. I need to do little CFOs. I gotta move that bitch out the way. I don't care what my ping is at the moment, you know. So I see that, but yeah, that's I think that's what I like about streaming and playing fighting games, because I play my match. Okay, done.
Right. I like that too. I like watching you play. I like you definitely teach me things about Street Fighter that I didn't know.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, when you play like a Call of Duty where the match could be, you know, a while sometimes.
Right. That's where I'm just kind of like...
You'll have a second between respawn to like catch something. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit lackluster, though. Like, I would rather us experience something together. Like, but I know that, like, single players aren't, like, the way to go either. But I'm just at the point I just want to have fun.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It comes down to having fun.
Yeah.
Be yourself and have fun, you know. That's all it is. It's a hobby for us.
Well, yeah, but where can they find you doing your hobby, Rick?
That's a pretty good segue.
You like that?
I like that. Yeah. You guys catch me at this nice little graphic down here, OS_Rick on my YouTube. I've been putting all my streams. I just let them up there.
Nice.
It's like, YouTube doesn't give a shit. At least they're not eating my bandwidth or nothing, does it? Something like that. Yeah, so I was like, I just upload it there.
Yeah.
Be me silly. See me be silly. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. The socials. I like being silly. Nothing serious. I don't do anything serious when it comes to social,
except for the podcast.
To me, not even.
No, are you serious?
To me, the socials are just that. Are just socials. Be silly and fun. I'm not on there to be, controversial or political or be like.
Give out Trump tweets.
I'm just here to have fun and be silly. I don't take that shit serious, because if you take serious, it's gonna eat you out, dude.
Yeah.
Don't let the socials.
For sure.
Guys, do not take social serious at all. Just have fun with it.
For sure.
Because you're going to find that one idiot on there that's just going to trolling and pushing buttons. And the second you start dealing with that and that in your life, it's over.
And his name is OS_Chameleon.
Oh, he's the biggest one, dude. There's nothing original on the internet, so I just copy paste and put memes up.
Fucking
joke templates. Do make your own shit.
Yeah, dude. Come up with your own jokes, dude. Don't be stealing other people's jokes from Reddit. I see you, OS_Chameleon.
Dude, he posts up like, bro, I literally saw you did that from Twitter. I follow you on both. I know you just got that from Twitter.
But honestly, I can't wait to get him drunk tomorrow at Texas Renaissance Festival.
Nice.
And as always, guys, you can catch me on all things social media at OS_Onslaught. If you want to hit up the podcast, we are Option Select Podcast on all things social media. The Gmail is optionselectpodcast@gmail.com. No spaces, nothing crazy like that, except for Twitch for whatever reason. But as always, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. The biggest thing you could do for us, we don't ask anything from you except for a like and a share and subscribe on all those social media platforms and Apple Podcasts and YouTube and Twitch and all that good stuff. And as always, guys, we love you.
Oh, before you leave.
Oh.
My coworker's like, you have a podcast? Like, yeah, motherfucker. I told you about it like a year ago. He's like,
We've only been doing it for 74 weeks.
like, really? Like, yeah, I saw you on IG.
Straight.
I'm like, I post it every fucking Friday. Okay,
It's on my Insta.
Yeah, it's on my Insta.
I saw the. Sorry, we were gonna talk about bullshit. I saw a meme that I sent to Steven.
What was it?
It was the COVID transmission with the mask, and it was like, did you see this one?
I think so. And then something, how not to get it on, so show somebody walking away or something like that.
It was like no mask, 90% transmission rate. One mask, 70% transmission mask.
Both masks?
30% transmission. And it was like, hey, you want to check out my podcast? 0% transmission rate.
That no one will fucking listen to you. You'll lose. That's the best way to lose a conversation.
Oh, bro.
Be like, oh, hey, yeah, check out my podcast. Like, oh, yeah, I gotta go.
And I fucking do that shit all the time, and I need to stop.
What?
Like whenever I'm talking about video games with my neighbor, and I was like, oh yeah, we talked about that shit on the podcast.
I'm the same way.
Why did I bring it up?
I'm the same way. I stop.
Instead of having the conversation with him, I'm plugging the fucking podcast. I'm such a dick.
I even told to my wife too, like, hey, we talked about the podcast. She's like, I know, I was there. I modded your shit.
Sorry, Mikkel. Sorry, Talon.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, guys. We fucking talked. We're narcissistic, kind of. Maybe.
Well, watch the Joe Rogan podcast with the narcissistic.
Yeah, I watched.
That's going. That's going.
I was doing the other ones too. I caught up. I caught up on his stuff. I'm caught up.
Everyone he has.
Except for Colin Quinn was pretty good. Even though he's a comedian, he was pretty good.
Okay, I might try that.
He's pretty good. But as always, guys, catch us on all things social media at these names down here. Options like podcast on all things social media for the podcast itself.
And I wear size medium now.
Yeah, he does. Look at him. He looks great.
Look at him. I look great. I'm 36 years old. The best shape of my life.
Best shape of his life. Get a six pack though. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week when we are at Rick's house for episode 75. Love you. Take care, guys. Have a good week.
Be safe. Bye-bye.
Love you.